Welcome back to Roadies Roam the World for our 9th and final episode of our Alaska vacation. It's time to make our way back to Anchorage for our flights home. But our trip's not over yet. During our travels, we stop to admire some swans, a glacial lake, and we take one last hike to view some glaciers. Trumpeter swans and tundra swans are the two species of swans native to North America and both nest in Alaska. Here you see a family of trumpeter swans, 2 adult, 1 male, 1 female, swans mate for life, and 3 juvenile swans. You know they are juvenile because of their gray feathers. Trumpeter swans were nearly driven to extinction in the early 1900s due to overhunting. In Alaska, they have exhibited an annual increase of 5.3% per year from 1968 to 2015, and the population appears to have stabilized. This family has started to make its journey south for the winter from its Denali breeding grounds. Trumpeter swans are one of the largest species of waterfowl in the world, measuring at nearly 5 feet in length with a wingspan of almost 7 feet. Males average about 28 pounds and females about 22 pounds. They are also a long-lived bird, 24 years in the wild, and often return to the same nesting areas for many years. Trumpeter swans do not usually obtain a mate until they are 2 to 4 years old. These juveniles will stay with their parents until they are around 10 months old, although there are records showing that very occasionally some pairs of birds still have at least one offspring right up to the time just before the first egg is hatched in the next clutch. We got back on the road, and after traveling for a ways, we turned a corner and saw a rest area that had an obscure view of a gorgeous lake. We got out of the RV and found a path that led us out to an overlook and eventually down to the lake's edge. We believe we have found Kenai Lake. Kenai Lake is the largest lake on the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska. Covering 21 square miles, this glacially fed lake has brilliant blue water and is a hub for water enthusiasts. Kenai Lake is glacially fed, which means all the water in the lake comes from the melting glaciers nearby. As the glaciers melt, they tear into the earth, creating glacial silt. When glacial silt and water mix, you get a brilliant blue-colored water. As you can see, the water of Kenai Lake is blue, unlike anything I've ever seen. You can access Kenai Lake from both the Seward and Sterling highways. Mostly it's accessed from Cooper's Landing off the Sterling Highway. However, we accessed from the Seward Highway. The lake is most known for its zigzag shape that winds between the mountains. The lake is so large that it could fit 20 Central Parks inside of it. Kenai Lake is a maximum depth of 540 feet. It is a natural lake created by glaciers receding. As the glaciers receded, they gouged the earth, leaving behind this massive lake where now the glacial melt collects. Finally, we make our way to find camp for the night. We found a campground near the turnoff to Whittier, Alaska called Walawa Campground off Portage Glacier Road. After setting up camp, we decide to take an easy hike. The trail of blue ice takes you past several area glaciers, and our goal is to find the foot of a huge waterfall coming off of Byron Glacier. That was the goal. However, we didn't quite make it. Instead, we found a nice walking path and some man-made ponds that brought joy to the photographers of the group, Kit and Dad. The campground is located in the Portage Valley, a 14-mile isthmus that connects the Kenai Peninsula to mainland Alaska. Portage Glacier once extended the entire length of the valley. The glacial remnants seen today are Explorer, Middle, Byron, Burns, and Shakespeare glaciers. While still massive in size, these glaciers stand as small reminders of the immense ice sheets that once covered this landscape. Portage Glacier has advanced and retreated over the years due to climate fluctuations. This diagram illustrates the retreat of both Portage and Burns glaciers over the last century. The blue colors show the current position of Portage Lake and the main retreat of Portage Glacier. The brown tones indicate land and the main retreat of Burns Glacier. Due to its location, Portage Valley sees a variety of wild weather situations. As clouds rise over the Chugach and Kenai Mountains, they drop lots of rain and snow on the mountains below. Even though it may be sunny in Anchorage, only 55 miles away, there may be gale force winds driving heavy rain in Portage Valley. Portage Pass is a narrow land bridge between Prince William Sound and Turnagain Arm. As the air pressure between these two areas equalizes, extremely high winds can be created. These winds have snapped 50-foot flagpoles like twigs, peeled away asphalt, and lifted boxcars from the railroad tracks. It's time for our trip to end. It's been a pleasure to have you along with us as we explored a small portion of the great state of Alaska, traveled to 3 national parks, viewed an abundance of wildlife, and took in the natural beauty this area has to offer. Thanks again for watching Roadies Roam the World.
Huh. That was the way up. Oh well.